Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Final Fantasy X-2. So we are nearly finished chapter 1, would you believe? We are just going to hop over to the Macalania woods.
It's been 2 years
and that's going to be our main mission today.
They say it's affecting not only the lake, but the woods as well.
So I hope you guys like the new layout. I'm just seeing how it feels, but I think it looks super cute and super cool. And we'll obviously be filling up that little grid of all the Dresspheres as we go. So I'm going to be looking forward to filling that up as we go along. And we're actually going to be getting a new, very special Dressphere a bit later in this episode.
The woods will soon be no more.
And so basically what's happening is, since the faith of Shiva has died, the magic of the woods is also fading, and so the woods will actually just fade away. And as you can see, the Guado have basically fled Guado Salam and are now hiding in the now dying Macalania woods for their own safety. But basically, you can still advertise to them. So the publicity is number 1. And that's basically it. But like, it's a bit tactless to be like, yes, we're literally hiding away from the scorn of the world. And it's like, but do you want to play some slot machines and racing coyotes? Bit tasteless there, Yuna. But you can also speak to this elderly gentleman. And that's actually it, because there's barely anybody in these woods. So just talk to those 2 people, pick the options, and then run down to where we had our date with Titus. And there is basically one of those guys that used to play music for the Maesters of Yevon.
The end has come faster than I thought. What can we do?
And basically you need to kind of find all 3 of them. So you found the eagle guy, and now we just have to basically run through the forest and find the trumpet girl. And then we will be sorted. As I say, we could run up to Bevelle, but I just am self-conscious that we might lose percentage points if we don't arrive via airship. So that's just going to be a rule of mine. I'm always going to port in from the airship to every area. But basically just, run along the woods. But yeah, I hope you like the overlay. Shout out to my pal that does it. I'll double check if I can put his details in, but he helped me design it and was super helpful, so I really do appreciate it, and I think it just gives it that little bit of a nice flair.
Oh me, oh my, what did you say? Don't move an inch, I'm on my way.
And as I say, the real danger there is to like press X or like try and skip some of their dialogues. Just whenever you're in a cutscene, it's best just to be hands away, unless there's like a dialogue box to like get involved with, you know. But as we know from the Machen situation, we really don't want to be like mashing extra different things because we might skip it. But just turning up the speed, we basically need to run then to where Spearmorph is, where we fought Spearmorph and collected our first Dressphere, because we will have a familiar face, and he's basically going to give us one of our first kind of achievements that we've gotten on stream. Because basically we have the Dresspheres, and then you'll notice in the little design there in the right hand side, there's kind of the 2 extra spheres in the middle. They're for the new HD Japanese exclusive spheres, the Festivalist and the Psychic. But there's 3 going horizontal,
High Summoner Yuna.
and basically they are what's called
Grief I have caused you.
special Dresspheres, basically, which are like the girls' ultimate forms. And so there's one for Paine, Yuna, and Riku, and they go in the center.
Guado are hardly different from the dead.
And yeah, like, this is like a really complex whole issue, because like the Guado definitely tried to like cover from Maester Seymour, harm Yuna, like destroy the Abed home. Like, there was an awful lot of like very, very bad things all done through the like very much evil
Many
ways of
Ronson
Maester Seymour,
lost their lives, the hand
including the Ronson
of
Massacre
Seymour.
as well.
Those who survived swore vengeance for their fallen comrades. We Guado
And there's
sealed
basically been like a
ourselves away
Ronso
in
Guado
Guadalsalam and
civil war,
strengthened our defenses.
and then they tried to hold up in
But soon we
Guadalsalam,
no
and then
longer
they
had the
basically
strength
ran
for even
now to
this.
Macalania.
Now we live among the shadows of these woods.
Trommel.
High Summoner, do not trouble yourself to show sympathy for the Guado. We once walked willingly with Lord Seymour, never questioning, even as he led all Spira into madness. Lady Yuna, I cannot ask that you forgive us, only that you forget us.
Trommel.
Ah, well, what brings the High Summoner to these woods?
Well, I'm a sphere hunter now.
A sphere hunter?
We, hunt spheres.
You don't say. Well then, please allow me to give you this. It is of no use to us.
So this is now Paine's special Dressphere, and the whole lark of these particular ones, the full throttle, is that you have to go through every single gate in the sphere grid for that character to be able to access their ultimate grid, or their ultimate Dressphere, I should say. And you basically get the unerring path, which is basically a sphere grid with only 2 nodes in it. So you just change Dresspheres once, and then you can activate your special Dressphere. I'm going to leave in a battle to kind of show you how that all works out, but we are not finished in Macalania yet. Oh no. This gives us a Dressphere and a separate mission. And basically here is like the lakefront, and the entire like lake and all the ice has completely just melted away. It's just a massive cavern basically, and there's now no road out to the temple at Macalania. It all just fell into the underground lake, you know. But here are just a bunch of Albed outside the Rin's shop.
Franica.
Why could they be here?
Oaka, Kadwidrana.
We know that name from Final Fantasy X. So Oaka has gotten himself in trouble with the Albed, and then basically this is one of those branched paths where you can just choose an option that just cuts off an entire, you know, subsection of the story percentage. So with this, you have to chase down Oaka, and then when you catch him, he asks you to like smuggle him into your airship and then help pay off his debt. And basically, or you can choose to do that or turn him into the Albed, but you have to let him on your airship, and you have to pay off his debt before chapter 3. That is vitally, vitally important. And interestingly enough, there seems to be pre-programmed battles just so that they can load Oaka further away, because I do have no encounters on, and it does just seem that certain encounters are just scripted to happen no matter what. And so we just attack away with our gun mages. Like we're in our 30s, we're not going to get wiped at all. But basically you can technically turn Oaka into the Albed, and then it just cuts off the whole like completion tree, and you'll miss out on, you know, a trophy or an achievement for paying off his debt, and you miss out on other collectibles and other cutscenes later on in the game. Like, there's just so much you miss out on. So there is very much in this game like the good and perfect and right ending. So you just have to make sure you make the right decisions, really. Because this is me even being like, don't I have this on no encounters? I was so confused. But basically, you run back down the crystal path, you come in contact with Oaka, and then you have to run to where Yuna and her guardians kind of camped for the night, and he's basically hiding up a tree, and you let him aboard the airship, basically. But this is going to start a fun little side quest where we have to we have to buy from Oaka to help pay off his debt. But what we can do to kind of help generate some revenue is sell all our high potions. We currently have 99 from all our grinding. Buy 99 high potions from Oaka. Now he sells them at a higher premium, but we can then sell it back to the Hypello on the airship and then buy more, and back and forth we can go, you know. But here he's just explaining what happened with the shop.
Think ye could give old Oaka a place to lay low? For a while? I'll find a way to make it up to ye, I promise.
What do you think? Sounds like he's in trouble.
Thank ye.
And with that, we get a mission complete. So we're just going to journey back to the airship. So we are back on the airship. And we're going to run up to the cabin. And basically from there, we're going to just chat to Oaka. And we are going to basically start paying off his debt. And yeah, basically the gist is just sell all your high potions to Barkeep, buy all of them from Oaka, sell them back to Barkeep. You won't make as much money back, but you are making like large enough revenue you can give another chunk off the debt. But as I say, we have some sphere levels to grind once we kind of get into the second chapter, because you have until the third chapter, so this is not like incredibly time sensitive, but we do get a good few Dresspheres in the second chapter to level up. So I'd like, probably by then I wouldn't mind fighting against slightly more powerful fiends and like getting another big jump in power level, you know. I kind of didn't want to be going around chapter 1 in like the high 40s or 50s. I thought that was a little bit overkill. But when we're going to grind Gale, we can definitely be doing harder monsters when we come to the second chapter, which we are nearly at, by the way. Like, we only have Mount Gagazet, Bevelle, and like a little bit of tidying in Kilika before we like do Besaid and Zanarkand, and then it's just Besaid, Zanarkand, and then the conclusion of the chapter, and we will be 25% in. But what I wanted to also show you guys, which I thought would just be really important, was Paine's Dressphere. So her special Dressphere that we like got to use is going to be super duper cool. So I'm just going to have the other girls escape just so like we can move around. Now, I was just testing because I couldn't remember, but unfortunately the special Dresspheres don't absorb the abilities from your main garment grid. So I thought I was being super cheeky and clever, and by using the Intrepid garment grid, my special Dressphere would get to keep the abilities from the gates given to it by the regular garment grid. So I thought I'd be getting 3 times AP. That is not the case. But again, we get a super cool Magical Girl transformation. We love that for Paine. And she's basically cloaked in swords. Swords for feet, swords for arms. And then I was just double checking, and like, yeah, all the gates are deactivated, unfortunately. But Bayonetta, eat your heart out. Everything Paine is a weapon. And basically for the main body, you can use stamina to basically heal up yourself. You can also, there's one that's like a supportive one that gives buffs to like the 3 elements. There's another one that does kind of like all status. And then the main body of Paine does elemental damage. So it's a bit like an offensive songstress, an offensive black mage, and like, yeah, so like, it's pretty cool. So I basically grind there a good bit, and now we can update the thumbnail because I've basically gotten that Dressphere as to max as it can go. It's not fully upgraded because you need to get certain key items in Chapter 5. So a bit like Songstress, it's like, we've done the best we fucking could at this stage, you know? But now we get to go on our merry way to Bevelle, the seat of power for Yevon. Sorry, am I misremembering? I thought I went to Bevelle first. I did. When I hovered over the beacon of desert, I was like, I thought I went there later.
Bevelle remains at the heart of Spira, even today. It's also the place where I was born. I suppose that makes it my hometown, but I can't say that I have a lot of fond memories here.
The High Summoner. I see you finally decided to join New Yevon. You do us much honor, my lady. Lord Braska, may he rest in peace, would be proud. I will summon the Praetor immediately. I beg your leave.
Pushy, isn't he?
We should leave.
Hey, what's the matter, Uni?
Well, you see, there was this arrangement, with the son of the chairman of New Yevon. I turned the offer down, but I thought it'd be kind of awkward.
Yuna?
You're probably right. Let's go.
Huh? No, wait, hey! Oh...
A pleasure, Lady Yuna. I am Baralai, Praetor of New Yevon.
So, you're the chairman's son?
Ah, as it happens, the chairman has recently resigned, as did his son, the Praetor. They were trying to take too much power. We had to ask them to leave. Now the younger members run the party, by mutual consensus, of course.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So you see, Lady Yuna, it is not I that was meant to marry the High Summoner.
Oh, my.
Not that we wouldn't appreciate your support.
Like,
On the
can we
contrary,
just remember
we
back
most
to Eternal Calm?
I
You,
understand if your feelings
like,
toward Yevon are
the
mixed.
chairman's son asked to marry
I hope
Yuna,
that you can
and
put
she
that aside and join our
definitively
cause.
said no.
The world is changing, and there are many who are finding it difficult.
Oh, like, these people are just so
New
obsessed with
Yevon
Yuna. Like, I
wishes
get
to
it,
help
she's
those
literally the
who
savior
feel
of the
lost on
world,
the
but,
winds of
like,
change.
my girl just wants
If
to
you'll
live a
excuse me, there are
life.
matters which require my attention. Oh, and should you come across any spheres of Spirus past, please do let us know. My lady?
So, what do you think?
What? Paine?
I think I've heard enough. What now?
So yeah, 100% do not miss out on this free tiara. But it's just so weird to be back in this space. Like, this is where Yuna stood trial. This is where, like, all of her faith in Yevon was completely destroyed, and Maester Micah and Seymour just standing there like undead motherfuckers. Like, ugh, crazy. Absolutely crazy. And we're eventually going to be going and poking around Bevelle in the next chapter, but an awful lot of it's closed off. Like, you literally just need to get that cutscene with Barrel Eye. And that's pretty much it for here as well. So we're going to just run back to the airship, and we're then going to go to Kilika Port and just do the marketing that we missed, as well as grabbing a cutscene that we also missed. And then, so with this guy, it's a lot of men's, there's not a lot of the matrimony. So with this guy, it's number 5. Progress to the next screen over, and the guy that's walking, you're kind of going to have to stop him, and it is I kind of thought it was funny that he keeps walking even into Yuna. Now, this guy is tricky, because it'll kind of put you there, and if you walk too close past him, you'll be thrown back to the screen before. So just walk kind of diagonally towards him like I did. And publicity is number 4 for him. And then just run up the stairs. And then the guy where the kids are jumping, he is publicity number 5. And then basically across the way from the guy down the stairs, there's a lady there, and you can give it number 2 for marketing and number 3 for matrimony. And then if we run all the way back to the other side of the screen, and like, that's the thing, I was like collecting treasure chests. I could have just done this the first time, but I did just say no. In fairness, I will just skedaddle back. But then where these guys are running, you want to run up to the left, and then we get 2 sets of cutscenes, one outside the house, and you have to go inside the house.
My.
But it's Donna and Bartheollo, and there is trouble in paradise.
Donna!
Go on, leave.
Donna! Ah!
Well, look who we have here.
Good to see you.
What's with Bartheollo?
Well, nothing out of the ordinary. I am with the Youth League, and he is with New Yevon. It makes living together rather difficult.
Oh.
But you've been together so long.
To each his own.
Exactly. Butt out.
So basically, those are the little bits of tidying up in Kilika that I wanted to do before Kilika becomes the end game hotspot. You can run up the stairs in Donna's house and collect a treasure chest. But other than that, that's going to be this episode for today, guys. We're going to pick up in the airship where we finish off the event list before we start into our main hotspots of Chapter 1. Thanks for watching!